You join us at Horseshoe Lake in Lechlade on a session after the lake's tench and carp. We're set up in the shallow and weedy summer bay, somewhere along the trout bank after seeing a number of fish show in the area. Tactics wise, we're covering our bases with a mixed approach of maggot feeders and boilies with PVA bags. During the first night, Nick had one small tench of around 4 pound, and at first light my rod ripped off and the faint maggot hook bait produced this tench of just under 6 pound. It's always good to get your first fish under your belt of a new session. Having done a quick but quiet lead around the previous day, we found a silt strip just over 20 yards out. We baited up with the smallest spots we had to try and keep disturbance to a minimum, just with a mixture of dead maggots, hemp and boilie crumb. With all the traps reset for the second day and night, we sat back and waited to see if the fish would move back over our baited area. We awoke to a beautiful misty morning, motionless bobbins and nothing to show for our efforts apart from a few liners in the night. Rebait, recast, kettle on, and time for a rethink. As we were only fishing in 3 or maybe 4 foot of water, to avoid spooking the fish, after casting we pulled off a fair bit of slack line, let that sink, clipped on some light indicators. After a quiet morning, we decided to do a circuit of the lake to see if the fish had moved out elsewhere. We didn't see any tench, not what we expected to at that time of day, but we saw a few carp up the top end and several more in the Winter Bay area. We carried on round back to our swim and decided to stay put, hoping the fish would move back into Summer Bay. Well, we've had a good 30 or 40 fish come into the bay in the last couple of hours, so it's looking good. The wind's moved around to a nice southwesterly. Oh, it's really light at the moment. It's boiling hot. It's looking better for tonight, so hopefully it all goes well. There's less ducks to worry about. They've all gone. So I'm just going to put out little bags and little bright pop-ups. The ducks don't seem to find them on their own, so we'll let you know. During the evening, Nick had 2 takes within half an hour, and he managed to lose both. At least it looked like the fish had turned up. Sometime in the night my right hand rod screamed off, and after a great fight in the dark without my head torch working, I managed to slip the net under this 22-pound 10-ounce mirror. After his 2 losses the previous evening, I caught up with Nick to find out exactly what had happened.
Got a flying take on the left hand rod, struck into it, nothing there, reeled down and thought I'd missed it. Turned out the fish had sort of kited round and then made contact with it, rolled on the top. It looked like a massive tench, certainly a PB, and unfortunately then it dropped off.
Yeah, they all do.
So absolutely gutted. Anyway, cast that back out. About half an hour later, the right hand rod rolls off, cracking carp on the end. Great fight, and then the line parts. So possibly lost a personal best tench and a personal best carp in half an hour. Gutted, but we still have time left to turn the story around.
After the usual rituals of rebaiting and praying to the angling gods, we prepared for our last night of the session and hoped to get another chance. Turns out the angling gods were smiling on us after all, as Nick put the disappointment of his 2 losses aside and landed this stunning fillet. See you next time.